As Canada prepares for its next federal budget, a familiar and increasingly urgent message is emerging from Ottawa. We will all need to pull together, make some significant sacrifices, and collectively contribute to a stronger economic future. This call to action is not merely a suggestion, but a critical necessity for the nation's sustained prosperity and stability in a rapidly changing global landscape. Mark Carney, Canada's new Prime Minister, who assumed office in March 2025, declared that the economy is at a pivotal turning point, demanding immediate and decisive action. In a recent televised address to the nation, he underscored that Canadians must be prepared to face difficult choices and make personal and collective sacrifices in the coming budget, emphasizing the gravity of the economic situation.
He stressed that the decades-long economic relationship with the United States, once a cornerstone of Canada's prosperity, has fundamentally changed, creating new vulnerabilities. This shift necessitates a proactive and strategic response from Canada to safeguard its economic interests and ensure long-term stability, unless we act decisively and adapt to these new realities.
This profound shift in global economic dynamics necessitates a more diversified and resilient economic strategy, moving away from past dependencies on a single major trading partner. The goal is to secure Canada's future prosperity by fostering innovation, exploring new markets, and building a robust domestic economy that can withstand external pressures and capitalize on emerging opportunities. What does sacrifice truly look like in practical terms for the average Canadian and for the government? It might mean tighter public spending across various sectors, fewer new government promises and initiatives, and perhaps a slower growth of public services than Canadians have become accustomed to. These measures are designed to ensure fiscal responsibility and reallocate resources more effectively. Despite the call for austerity, the Prime Minister firmly promised that social supports for the most vulnerable segments of the population will be upheld and protected. This commitment ensures that essential safety nets, such as healthcare, social assistance, and support for low-income families, remain intact, providing crucial assistance to those who need it most during these challenging times. However, he candidly admitted, "We will have to do less of some things we want, to do more of what we must," signaling a clear and unavoidable prioritization of essential needs over discretionary wants. This statement highlights the difficult trade-offs that will be necessary to navigate the current economic climate and secure Canada's long-term financial health. This declaration means a strategic re-evaluation of all existing government programs and initiatives with a critical focus on efficiency and impact. Resources will be meticulously reallocated and concentrated where they are most critically needed, ensuring that every dollar spent contributes directly to Canada's economic recovery and future resilience. Canada faces multiple and complex pressures from various fronts. Global trade shifts are reshaping international markets, rising costs of living are impacting households, and there is a growing demand for substantial investments in critical infrastructure and national security. These challenges collectively necessitate a comprehensive and strategic approach to economic management. Carney stressed that the world has irrevocably changed, and Canada must adapt swiftly and strategically to these new global realities. He emphasized that now is the opportune moment to build new economic foundations, invest wisely in future-oriented industries, and decisively take control of our economic destiny, rather than being passively shaped by external forces. The Canadian economy, while demonstrating resilience in certain sectors, has unfortunately lagged behind many other OECD countries in terms of per capita GDP growth over recent years. This concerning trend highlights the urgent and undeniable necessity for these significant economic adjustments and reforms to boost productivity and competitiveness. Furthermore, structural challenges such as persistently weak productivity across various industries, alarmingly high household debt levels, and critically low housing affordability continue to complicate the economic landscape. These deep-seated issues require targeted and comprehensive policy interventions to ensure sustainable growth and equitable prosperity for all Canadians. Moreover, Canada's significant and increasing exposure to climate-related risks, including extreme weather events and their economic consequences, demands proactive and substantial investment in sustainable solutions and resilient infrastructure. This is not just an environmental imperative, but also an economic necessity to mitigate future costs and foster green growth. But a call for sacrifice, no matter how well-intentioned, always carries inherent political and social risks. Canadians are already acutely feeling the pinch of the rising cost of living, making further demands for austerity a particularly sensitive and potentially contentious issue for many households across the country. Analysts and economic commentators warn that asking for more sacrifices now, without clear justification and transparent communication, could severely erode public support and trust in the government's economic agenda. This erosion of confidence could undermine the very reforms needed for long-term stability. Opposition voices from various political parties are quick to point out that unless these proposed sacrifices come with clear direction, a well-defined plan, and an undeniable sense of fairness, the government's message may backfire dramatically. This could lead to widespread public discontent and political instability, hindering effective governance. Recent polls reveal a significant public sentiment. Over half of Canadians believe that the size and overall cost of government should be substantially reduced. This widespread belief reflects a strong public desire for greater fiscal prudence, more efficient public spending, and a leaner, more accountable government apparatus. A significant percentage of Canadians also feels that the quality and responsiveness of government services have not kept pace with the noticeable growth in bureaucracy and administrative overhead. This perception adds considerable complexity to the government's messaging task, as it tries to justify further sacrifices while addressing concerns about existing inefficiencies. When the federal budget is finally released, keen observers and concerned citizens alike should look for three critical things: precisely where cuts are made across government departments, which strategic investments are prioritized for future growth, and most importantly, how Canadians are asked to fairly share the burden of these necessary economic adjustments. The government is adopting a new and innovative budgeting approach, which fundamentally prioritizes long-term capital investment over short-term operational spending. This strategic shift aims to clearly distinguish between expenditures that build future capacity and those that cover day-to-day costs, fostering greater financial discipline and foresight. This new approach aims to significantly enhance transparency in government spending and facilitate more rigorous oversight of public expenditure. By clearly delineating capital and operational costs, the government seeks to ensure greater accountability in fiscal management and build public trust in its financial decisions. Key measures currently being considered to stimulate economic growth and efficiency include streamlining burdensome regulations across various sectors, launching new and ambitious energy infrastructure projects to secure Canada's energy future, and actively reducing interprovincial trade barriers to foster a more integrated national market. The government aims to foster a robust economic revival by easing regulatory burdens on businesses, making strategic investments in key growth sectors, leveraging Canada's abundant energy advantage, and actively supporting a strong and stable stock market. These combined efforts are designed to create a dynamic and competitive economic environment. A critical question remains: will the government protect vital health transfers to provinces, essential childcare supports for families, and national school food programs, even while simultaneously asking for significant sacrifices from the broader population? The answer will reveal the true priorities of this budget. These critical social programs are not merely government initiatives. They are fundamental cornerstones of Canadian society, reflecting our shared values of compassion and support. Their protection and continued funding will serve as a key indicator of the budget's overall fairness and its commitment to the well-being of all citizens. The budget, which is officially expected to be tabled on November 4, 2025, will undoubtedly be a pivotal and defining moment for the nation. Its contents and implications will shape Canada's economic trajectory, social fabric, and global standing for many years, if not decades, to come. The message from the Prime Minister is unequivocally clear: Canada is at a critical turning point in its history, facing unprecedented challenges and opportunities. Every Canadian, regardless of their background or profession, may have a vital role to play in actively building a stronger, more resilient, and prosperous future for the entire nation. While sacrifices may indeed be asked of citizens and institutions alike, the overarching and ultimate aim is to construct a stronger, more resilient, and more equitable future for all Canadians. This collective effort is intended to ensure long-term stability and prosperity, fostering a Canada that is robust and prepared for the challenges ahead.